Hey, what's up guys? It's C-Stacks here with a special deck profile / interview. We are joined today by the Vegas regional champion, Patrick Lenehan. Am I saying that right?
Yeah. Actually, most people get it wrong. You got it right.
Oh, okay, nice. Why don't you say what's up to the people of Versus Dom and give us a little bit of your background in gaming?
Sure. Hey everyone. I didn't get much into gaming until I was in college. I would have loved to get into it kind of before that, but there weren't really any people around me who played these various things. But in college, one of my roommates introduced me to what was it like original versus. He introduced me to Overpower. He introduced me to Hero Clicks, and I was hooked from there.
Okay, awesome. And is this your first top or win in New Versus?
Yeah, I go to like very few tournaments. I think the first time I played versus in a tournament was like 3 or 4 years ago at what was it, Origins, and then I played in Gen Con last year and got shellacked, and then I played in Vegas this year. I just my work schedule is pretty demanding, and we got two kids, and so I'm not able to. I mean, I know some people are able to juggle it all. I am not as talented as they are, so I don't make it to a lot of these things.
Yeah, that's understandable. I feel like that's a lot of people's experience. They go to like Origins or Gen Con as their first thing, and they get absolutely stomped. It was definitely my experience as well.
Yeah, no, I did like so much theory crafting, but like not enough actual testing. I was like, Kitty Pryde Star Lord, she's gonna take this thing. That was incorrect.
All right, so let's look towards Vegas now. So, the Vegas Regional was a couple weeks ago now. It was the double exposure photographic format, but with a twist, with the special ban on Outriders and the Mare parallel dimension combo interaction. What were your thoughts on the ban, and how did it affect your testing?
I was a fan of it. I don't play in as many, like I said, big events as like Burt and like you guys. And I think you guys have a better sense. A lot of like more veteran players have a better sense of like whether they were that oppressive or not. I personally thought they were kind of oppressive, and like I was not. The fact that they were banned actually was the clinching factor for me going. If they weren't banned, I didn't really want to play them, and I was going to get stomped by them, so I didn't really see the need to go if they were a thing. And then in terms of the Mare combo, yeah, like I mean, kudos to the first person who came up with that, but like I don't know, just any situation where it's just like your opponent cannot win no matter what they do. I mean, it's a win, but I find it a little more fun to kind of duke it out a little bit.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with everything. After playing in Midwinter, where it was just Outriders everywhere, I would not have played in Vegas, even if I could have, with Outriders being dominant again. It was not a very fun environment. So I applaud them for wanting to switch things up between events.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a fun way to do things, and shout out to Ryan Roper for running a fun tournament.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so let's take a look at this list here. First, for anybody who's been living under a rock, let's take a look at the main character, Valkyrie. So at level 1, she's a 4/3, 6 health. She's got Flight. She has Choose Your Next Words Wisely, Combat Green, KO an enemy supporting character in the combat with defense less than or equal to, Valkyrie's attack. I don't think this one really ever comes up. I don't think people really build around that one. And then her level up is Scrapper 142. Level up 14. When a card enters a KO pile, Valkyrie gains XP equal to its cost. So you want stuff to hit the KO pile to level up. And then at level 2, she has Sworn to Protect the Throne. She's a 6/6 also. So Valkyrie has Berserker and Ferocious while in the front row. Two really strong keywords. And then the big one is the Famed Sword of the Valkyrie. Any turn combat red. If this is a melee combat, when Valkyrie stuns a character this combat and her attack was at least double that character's defense, remove it from the game. So it's an alt win.
Yeah.
So I'll run down your deck list real quick, and then you can talk about it.
Sure.
So it's 4 Heimdall, 4 Frohickey, 4 Langley, 3 Byers, all of the Ultrons except for the 3. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 on the Ultrons. 4 Grandmaster, 1 Mordo, 1 Killmonger, 1 Winter Soldier, 4 Valkyrie supporting character. The plot twists are 4 You're the Last One, 4 Lone Gunman Newsletter, 4 Suit Up, and 3 Sokovia Chords. And then the plot twists, or the locations rather, are 4 Avengers Tower, 4 Magic Box, which is blue, and 4 Bronze, which is red. So how did you land on this list?
I will say one quick thing. I think you said the last one, but it's the four. I thought you'd be glad to see me, or maybe yeah, the four pledges. I thought you'd be glad to see me. Three Sokovia Accords, four suit up, four newsletter.
Okay, so you didn't play your last one. It's the glad to see me.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I landed on it. The minute, like when I saw Valkyrie spoiled way back, I thought like my first impression was like you can't get twice someone's defense. That's just not happening. But like the more I played around with her, like the more I realized that was possible. I test with Burt and with Ralph and those guys, and Ralph has been saying from the get go that Valk is a contender, and like the more I tested and stuff, the more she just seemed to rise above the rest. Especially like even I know there's some builds that with her you can beat Outriders, and she's obviously a good counter to the Mayor and the Parallel Dimension.
Oh yeah. I had a similar thought when I was leveled. I was like, oh, so you're never gonna pull that off, but it's easier than it seems, especially when you're leveling hyper fast.
Yeah, exactly. If you can, like, yeah, if you get to level two before they get to level two, like, it's very doable. And yeah, and just like in the testing, it was just like she's just mowing through MCs. The question is just like how fast could you get it to happen? And like that's what a lot of the testing was. Shout out to Ralph. He and to Bert as well. The three of us were testing a lot of the Valk mirrors and like trying to fine tune like what the best way to go about it was. Originally, I was on kind of like the just the straight Ultron build, but it was kind of like a high roll deck. Like if you got it, great, but if you didn't, like you could be in trouble. And when you throw in the lone gunman, that smooths it out a little bit because like you have an aggro deck and you have a decent amount of control.
Yeah, that was the next question I was going to ask you because going into the event, there were kind of two known Valkyrie builds in the meta. I guess you could say there was the Ultron version and the lone gunman version. It seems what you've kind of done here is you've just kind of mushed them together.
Yeah, that was in the credit to that goes to Ralph. Like I was doing the mainly the Ultron one. I liked that over the straight gunman, but like he was like, why don't we just cram them together? And I was like, you're a genius.
Yeah. So I mean, you've got the villain stuff in here. I thought you'd be glad to see me. That definitely is going to help you get there. Suit Up is not a card I would have expected to see.
Hell, Suit Up helps me seal games, but it's also really good in the mirror match because Valk doesn't have range, right? So what you can do is you can bring her to your back row and range attack the other Valk and then discard some cards so you level up and they don't.
Oh, okay, that's pretty clever, yeah. I guess the main thing I see that's missing is the FBI plot twist, the I need your help. Did you ever miss that, or did you feel like your deck was consistent enough without it?
I thought it was consistent enough without it. Ralph and I basically played the same deck except for like six odd cards or something like that, and four of those were he was playing the I need your help and I wasn't. With Heimdall helping me grab whatever I want, and with the if I have Froki on the field, I'm discarding Langley and Byers, I'm drawing a decent amount. So obviously you have like the Mulligan to help you too. I didn't feel like I needed it though. I'm sure it does help in certain situations.
Sure, that makes sense. So why don't you tell us how your tournament experience went, kind of round by round? How'd the deck go, and how'd your tournament go?
Sure. So first round, I actually played one of my other testing partners, Hector. I've known Hector for almost 20 years now. We went to college together, and we compete in everything. And he went into it thinking like, we thought Valk was going to be good, and his idea was that Odin is like you have to wait 3 turns if you want to catch him on that level 2. So that means that he's probably going to do Valkyrie at least 3 wounds during that time. And then if you can stall during those 2 turns where you're like an old weak man, then you can level back up and finish her off. And so he just had a ton of stall. So we got paired up first round, and I was like, this is going to be bad because we played a couple side matches leading up to it, and I was able to win, but like just barely. And so I forget the exact kind of way it went, but basically I just was waiting to level when he leveled down. He leveled down, and I think I attacked him with Valk. I pumped her up, and I played a newsletter, but he had 3 plot twists in hand. I think I had 2 newsletters. So I fizzled 1, I fizzled 2, but he had the third one to stop it. And then the next turn he put out the Wasp or something like that and soaked up 3 attacks, and I just couldn't get through. So he leveled back up, and then we mixed it up some, and then he eventually won on time. My second round, I went against Kel, who's a really nice guy. He was there with his son. I think in the first round, he might have Ant-Manned me. He was playing a Valk deck too. He Ant-Manned me, and what I eventually did was I think I crashed, and then the next turn I used Suit Up, attacked him. He went face down. I discarded a bunch of stuff, leveled up, and then I think I finished him on turn 3. Next up, I went against Scott, who was playing Vision, and let me see. He had a fun deck idea. Vision. He was going to do Vision with a Gunman, and I think Burt did a New York Minute about a similar deck. Basically, he's going to discard a bunch of Gunmen and then play a yellow and then draw a bunch of cards. He just didn't see. I don't think he saw like one location. Maybe he saw one. And so I think he did the same thing as Kel did. He Ant-Manned me, thinking that would keep my attack down. I think I was able to crash. I leveled, and then I KO'd him on turn 3, I want to say. Let me see who's next. Oh, Michael was next. Michael was playing Dormammu, which I was actually, it's definitely a match I tested and definitely a match I know I can win. But like I know he's a good player. He was one of the first people I played at Origins, the first tournament I ever went to for Versus, and I think he just like wrecked me. And I think I was playing it was like a Loyal tournament. I was playing Loyal Star-Lord, like Guardians of the Galaxy Star-Lord, and he was playing Loyal Groot, and just got like enormously big, and there was just nothing I could do. So I was sweating ever so slightly when I started playing him. I think I mulliganed my first hand, but then I drew super well. I think my opening hand was like a Heimdall, a blue, a Newsletter, the Valk 6-drop, a Frohickey, a Byers, and an Avengers Tower. So I've got like the red to activate Valk's ability. I've got her in hand, so I've got 6 XP, and I've got a Heimdall to kind of search for what I need. I think I went first. I put down Heimdall, a resource passed. He put down a resource, and I think he activated his ability, so he removed 6 cards from play, got 6 XP, but then it came back to me, and I drew the level 8 Ultron, so I paid the blue to summon level 1 Ultron, discarded, powered him up with a level 8, so that's 8 XP. I discarded Valk, so that's 6 XP. I leveled, and then, so I've got 7 attack, then I attacked him, which gave me an 8 because I have Berserker, and then I had 2 Newsletters in hand, and there was just nothing he could do. So that was we were both surprised at how fast that one ended, but he was a good sport about it. And then let me see, the fifth round, I played Ralph, and I knew this was going to be tough going in because Ralph is very good and knows exactly what I'm playing. So I think I went first, and I dropped a Heimdall and a red, and I passed. He dropped the Ultron level 1. He put himself in the back row, and he played Suit Up, stunned me, discarded I think a couple Ultrons and a Valkyrie to level, and then from there I knew the game was basically over. I think it was I limped along until turn 4, but he just he was in control the whole time and then beat me. And I think that's when we cut to top 4, and for whatever reason Ralph and I end up playing each other again. So it was the best of 3. The first game I just drew super well again. It was actually kind of funny. Like Ralph and I were both laughing about the fact that I think I dropped Frohickey, and I think I discarded 2 Langleys and a Byers or something like that. So I wrecked his hand, built my hand. I think I was able to somehow stun him and then level. He leveled shortly thereafter, but I was just way too ahead on wounds, so he conceded the first one. The second one, I'm not sure, I forget the exact details, but he leveled first and just kind of, I wasn't able to come back. But then the third game I did another gunman hand destruction. I think that time I think it was a Frohickey 3 buy. I think I was discarding Byers and discarding Langleys, and I drew a Langley and discarded that too. And he was just what is happening right now? And then I was able to level and beat him that way. And then was it Robbie had to get going, so he wasn't able to face the final. So he conceded, and we split the goods.
That's pretty impressive, though. So you went. Well, what was your record in Swiss?
Let's see. One, two, three. So 3 and 2.
3-2 in Swiss, and then you 2-0'd
Yeah.
Ralph in top four.
I did. I two won them.
2-1 him. Okay. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. So congrats on that that win. You guys split the pot on at the first in the top cut, and you
Yeah.
walked away with the Gen Con bye. So you're the regional champion. So huge congrats on that.
No, thank you, man. It was a really good time. Like if I had more time, I'd go to more of these.
So let me ask you this: do you think that Valk is in a world without Ultrons and the Mare in the format? Do you think Valkyrie is oppressive in the photographic universe, or do you think a lot of people landed on that because it's kind of an easy deck to build, or because it was a safe call? They cut the Spider-Man set right before the event, like less than a week before. So do you think she's problematic, or do you think people landed on it for other reasons?
I don't think she's problematic. I mean, I think someone online pointed out the fact that, like, 3 of the Valkyries were me, Ralph, and Burt. And so it's like we test together. So shockingly, we think the same things are good and the same things are bad. I don't think she's oppressive. I definitely think she's like someone who you have to, if you're not playing, who you have to like prepare for, though. I mean, she doesn't have range, and like you can range attack her all day, and she's just gonna be soaking up wounds. If you want to like hide her in the back row so she's not getting range attacks, well then she loses Berserker and Ferocious, which is kind of rough. I don't think I don't think she's too oppressive, but she's definitely top tier. I think it was someone else was saying online that like a lot of people changed their decks when Spider-Man was nixed for the Vegas tournament. I actually didn't change mine that much. I don't think I changed it at all. The one thing that I was thinking might be a problem is I'm blanking on the name of the plot twist, but it's basically the plot twist that's like Spider-Man remembering Tony Stark, and it's like if you play this, you remove whatever cards from the graveyard, and for the rest of the game, those cards can't like appear on the field. And so it's like if I discarded an early Ultron, then I couldn't like play one later on or something like that. But I think it would have been easy. I mean, it wouldn't have been easy to play around that, but like I think I knew how to play around that. So it didn't change. It changed what I thought I was going to see, because I thought Doctor Strange was going to be much more real with like Tinker and stuff like that. But it didn't change the deck I was building.
Yeah, I would agree. I had another question. Do you think Valkyrie is a strong contender even in the full photographic pool? Like if Outriders and Mare were still around, obviously she has super good game against Mare, but do you think she has a chance to fight Valkyrie or to fight Outriders?
I do. I think she. I do think she has a chance. I mean, it's you kind of have to. You certainly have to change the deck up. Like I think if I played my deck against Outriders, I think it would get worked. It's just there's 6 MCs, so I can level quick and KO 3 of them, and they can still roll over me. I think with some modifications, I think she can definitely hang with them.
Interesting, cool. And then one last thing is something we've talked about a lot in my group chats for the game and whatnot is do you think in the photographic universe, more so the main characters, do you think these supporting character kits that we see in like all the decks is more of a problem? Like I would be interested to look at all the Vegas decks and see just how many of them were playing the Lone Gunman package. Do you think that is more oppressive than any main character in the photographic field?
I think was it on maybe one of your weekly updates with Robert Smallwood. I think he said something to this effect, and I think I do agree that like the Lone Gunmen are just so good. There's you have to find a reason not to play them. It's not like you're finding a reason to put them in your deck. You're finding a reason not to play them. I think just overall, like there's a lot of good MCs in the photographic, and there's a lot of good supporting character packages, and like the combination of the two make them pretty deadly. I think it's fun that Gen Con's going to have both photographic and illustrated. I do think that the Syndicate, and people certainly might disagree with me, but I don't particularly think the Syndicate is super strong.
Yeah.
If someone comes up with an amazing deck and top 8 or even wins it, my hat's off to you. But it'll be interesting to see if people play them and if the supporting character packages can overcome the fact that they're a little lackluster.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think maybe we'll see a different side of Photo Universe in these upcoming mixed formats with the good versus evil and then the cosmic power. Maybe they'll have to adapt to be in a field that's not entirely photographic, which like we've seen for the last 3 months. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, no, for sure. It also it'd also be interesting to see like if Gen Con happens when it's supposed to.
Yeah, we'll have to see how things develop. I really hope that Gen Con doesn't get nixed. Yeah. And then the last thing I'll ask you before we go here, while I have you, what are your thoughts on the upcoming good versus evil format? Yeah, just give us your thoughts on that real quick.
Oh, sure. I think I am. I mean, I know a lot of the tournaments are obviously not happening because of what's going on with coronavirus, but gosh, I think it's going to be like lots of very broken combos and lots of quick KOs. I think it's going to be a very tough format to kind of stand out in, just because like everyone's going to have some really good tech.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. Hopefully we'll actually get a regional in this format. Hopefully at some point. Anyways, huge congrats on your win at Vegas. Hope to see you at more events in the future. And thanks for talking to us.
Oh yeah, and then like I said, huge shout out to my testing partners in Hector, Burt, and Ralph in particular, and shout out to the guys from our testing group who didn't make it, Team Bag Fries.
What's the name of the team?
Team Bag Fries.
Okay, shout out to Team Bag Fries.
It's I'd tell you this story, but it's not my story to tell. I'm sure if you ask Burt, he'll let you know what the origin behind the name is.
Oh, okay, I'll be sure to mention it on the next This Week in Versus. Maybe we'll get a Burt story time.
Yeah, no, the Burt story times are always good.
All right, well, thanks for talking to us. Congrats again on your win.
Okay, thanks, man. Appreciate the interview.
Yep, we'll see you guys later. Peace.